10,000 years ago, the first men crossed the Arm of Dorn and settled this continent. For millennia, kingdoms rose and fell, new peoples crossed the narrow sea, conquering and assimilating our ancestors, leading to the abandonment of the old gods. On the northernmost edge of Westeros lies the Kingdom of the Them, the last vestige of the first man culture and the proper worship of the gods. The time has come for a first man resurgence. We will drive out the invaders with our dragon kings and weak new gods and take our rightful place as the masters of this continent. Surrounded by mountains, we are shielded from the cold, but that does not mean we are free from hardship. Beyond the mountains are the wildlings, brutal hunter-gatherer tribes always warring with one another. And beyond them stands the wall, a 700 feet high cliff of ice, stretching from shore to shore, manned by black-hearted, black-cloaked warriors. It stands as a barrier to our manifest destiny. We must win the struggle for the kingdom beyond the wall and forge it into a hammer with which we shall smash through that icy abomination and spill into the green southern lands beyond. Lord Styr, or Magnar Styr in the old tongue, is a sadistic, arrogant, stubborn man, whose only skills are in warfare. He is perhaps just the type of leader we need to unite the wildlings. After reorganizing his household, he starts his campaign of conquest that will surely not end until his death. Our first target is the Jagged Hills tribe, controlled by the Borhel family. The only reason for war we need is our desire to unite the kingdom beyond the wall, so we declare the clash. One advantage we do have is the fact that we have a well-organized army equipped with bronze weapons and armor, as we are the only metal workers north of the wall, while they are undisciplined tribals who have to make do with whatever weapons they can steal from others. As he knew that his life would center around warfare, Styr focused on learning personal combat and honor. This makes him the perfect general to lead his armies. Chief Ygin of the Borhel led his host into the mountains trying to evade us, but we cornered him there and easily smashed him. After occupying some of his holds, he surrendered, allowing us to annex the bordering territories. While the Kingdom of the Them did expand, this merely presented a new problem. These new lands were still governed by the Borhels, though they now swear allegiance to us, they do not love us. The wildlings have strayed from the true teachings of the old gods that say that the Magnar is their representative and should be treated as divine himself. The more we conquer, the more our new subjects will hate us. To try and combat this, Styr started taking steps to control his kingdom. This, in combination with his sadistic nature, made him truly feared. The next step was to subjugate the tribes of the Pale Mountains under the leadership of the Skullsmourn. But before his people would follow their Magnar into this cold and desolate place, he had to prove his devotion to the gods. So he undertook a pilgrimage to Kelscom, a holy site within the Then Valley. The pilgrimage went well, he even corrected a holy inscription. Having proven his devotion, it was time for another war. Using guerrilla tactics and taking advantage of the mountainous terrain, they gave us quite a headache, but in the end they stood no chance. Chief Skullsmourn was now our vassal. However, he still ruled over multiple tribes who did not answer directly to us, and together they made a powerful faction within our kingdom. Luckily, Chief Skullsmourn didn't have any heirs, so if an unfortunate accident were to befall him, the mountain tribes would find themselves without a leader to rally around. The scheme would take time, however, so for now we must turn to other matters. Our expansion has not gone unnoticed. During the subjugation of the Pale Mountains, our dynasty became known as a house of warriors. Neighboring rulers started offering us money in exchange for not attacking them. We did not accept. But if we are to grow further, the Magnar must increase his fame and be respected far and wide. To make that happen, he raided the neighboring tribes, went on a glorious hunt on which he failed to catch anything, and hosted all the lords of the realm in a magnificent feast. He became famous, perhaps for the wrong reasons, as he was now known as the Cruel, but he could now continue his campaign of unification. Since the last war against the Borhels, Chief Vigan died, causing his realm to be split in two by his sons. This is the perfect time to resume our conflict with them. Disunited, they fell even quicker than the last time. Taking the rest of the jagged hills opened the way towards Bleakwater, a land held by the Night Runners. Years ago, we sent our seer to find a claim for us to take these snowy forests for our kingdom. And he has accomplished his task admirably. We can strike at the Night Runners at any time, but the Magnar has heard of trouble brewing back home. The small folk are complaining of high taxes and murmuring of rebellion. Styr decided to settle things back home before continuing. Just then, the opportunity to assassinate Skullmorn finally presented itself, and the rebellious chief will cause trouble no more. Unfortunately, the Magnar's involvement in his death was discovered, and the whole world now knows him as a murderer. After giving the lordship over the Pale Mountains to a more loyal vassal and squashing the peasant uprising, Styr continued on his warpath. He gathered a host at the border of Bleakwater and attacked. The Night Runners were our strongest enemies yet. They even hired mercenaries to try and defeat us. If we were as weak as when Styr first became Magnar, they would have won, but we have become much stronger in the years since then. By conquering Bleakwater, our kingdom has gained the coastline for the first time. We immediately created the position of admiral, but our navy is small and primitive, good for trade but not war. So we told our new admiral to focus on protecting the merchant fleet, increasing our income by 0.1 per month. The Then are not like the wildlings. We are a civilized people who grow weary of constant war. Realizing this, the Magnar decided to have a period of peace, allowing his vassal lords to rest. He would of course continue his campaign later, but in the meantime, he would make an effort to make connections between himself and his subjects, as well as his new lands and the core of his kingdom. He did this by educating the younger lords and ladies in the proper worship of the old gods, as well as hosting feasts and meeting all the most important people of the realm. After months of this, we once again marched to war, this time south, attacking two tribes at once, the X-Bears of Kinning Ridge and the High Tribe of Wintermouth. They fell easily. Then we turned north to the so-called Kingdom of the Ice Lakes. We took their precious lakes and put them in their place. Then the Drowned Forest fell. Next, the Milkwater River became part of our domain, granting us access to Walrus Bay. Walrus Bay is a chiefdom surrounded by mountains with only one passage. It is guarded by the famous warrior Tormund's Giantsbane of the Ruddy Howl. He outflanked us and fought well, but the overwhelming might of the Then could not be stopped by even his faint strength. Styr had accomplished much during his reign. His kingdom went from a tiny enclave of civilization in the freezing north to a vast realm touching the sea to the east and the wall to the south. Yet he was worried. He has had his 50th name day and his health was fading. What would happen to his kingdom when he died? His first son Sigurn would inherit, a competent enough fighter, but he could never hold such a grand kingdom together. But his son Styr, named for his exalted grandfather, on the other hand, perhaps could. The Magnar knew what he had to do. His son loved him, trusted him. That would only make it easier. One day, while traveling, Sigurn was attacked by highwaymen. On that day, Styr, son of Sigurn, became Styr the Cruel's new heir. Having committed the crime of kinslaying and getting away with it, as if to spit in the face of the gods, Styr proclaimed himself the head Greenseer of all true worshippers of the All Gods, thereby increasing his power even further. The next few months were spent hunting, relaxing. Styr even became a poet. The kingdom rested, but also prepared for the continuation of the unification campaign. During his life, Styr understandably became highly respected for his deeds, so much so that you could say that he was truly exalted among men. He used his fame to call an invasion of the old groves. This wouldn't be the usual war of conquest, it would result in almost total expulsion of the local lords and installment of entirely new nobility. The Groves was the most powerful chiefdom remaining beyond the wall. After their destruction, no wildling will be able to deny Then supremacy. These lands shall from now on be a second stronghold of the Then culture and the Magnaric faith. Styr commissioned an ornate crown to mark the occasion of the de facto unification of the kingdom beyond the wall. All that was left for the official declaration of unification was to integrate a few small tribes around the edges. That isn't as easy as it sounds, not because those tribes can resist us, but because our own vassals are once again tired of the near-constant war. All that is left to completely unify the wildlings is the frozen shore. It would be wise to stop, rest, and rebuild his relations with his people. But Styr isn't a young man. He has seen almost 60 name days now. He wants to unify his new kingdom in his lifetime. So, against the advice of his friends and counselors, he made one final thrust in an attempt to make one more legendary accomplishment in his life. He did not succeed. He died in his sleep in the commander's tent on the 21st day of the 4th moon 310 AC. He was succeeded by his preferred heir, his grandson Styr. An ambitious man, he will surely continue his grandfather's legacy. The people beyond the wall have cause to rejoice, as their new king has a reputation for being just. But quietly they whisper that the taint of evil has been passed to him from his grandfather. The now Greenseer Styr doesn't pay them much mind, however, as he must take action. With the succession, the realm has been split in 3, and the kingdom is still embroiled in war in the frozen shore. He must solve this crisis quickly so he can turn to reuniting the lands beyond the wall. Hello everyone, this is the end of the video and my name is Michael. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I am very new at editing and I am trying to improve. So if you have any suggestions you want to make or anything you want to see, feel free to leave it in the comments, I will definitely read it. Also in the description is the link to the YouTube channel where I found the music that I use in the background of this video. Thank you very much to them. And next video will be next week at the same time. I hope to see you there. Bye bye.